Hello and welcome to my Forever in Motion Facebook class. My name is Kimberly, if you don't already know who I am. And today you'll be joining me for about a 45-50 minute circuit. I did one about a month and a half ago and I had some positive feedback about that. So I thought I would do that again. And what a circuit is an interval style class where we'll do a little bit of strength training and then we'll do a little bit of cardio and we'll alternate between the two. So it's kind of a nice way of just mixing class up and getting a little of everything. So a couple things you'll need to have with you, as usual for my classes, is you'll want to have a chair nearby. You'll want to have a tubing and a set of weights. And then, as always, you'll want to have a glass of water nearby as well, so that you can have a couple sips here and there. So I see a few people joining in here. We'll just give you another couple seconds here to get in. For those of you who have just joined me, I was just saying that we'll do a circuit today. So a little bit of cardio, a little bit of strength training. It's sometimes nice to break up our cardio with strength, and then that way it's just not too much on our body all at once. So we'll break it up and we'll alternate between the two. So, okay, let's get started here. And sorry, I see Teddy is walking back and forth here. It's a crisp, cold day outside, so I think he's not quite sure if he wants to head out or stay in. And I gave him a bone, hoping that that would entertain him for a little while, and he's enjoying tossing it up in the air and dropping it, which is just lovely. Okay, so we'll start by marching out here. Let's start with a warm-up. We always start with a warm-up, just getting the blood flowing, get everything going. Okay, maybe the bone wasn't such a good idea after all. Okay, so march it out here. Let's do a nice big shoulder roll, up, back, and down. Take a couple breaths with that. Inhale and exhale. Again, nice deep breath in. Are you catching this? This is going to be lovely. He's throwing it up in the air and dropping it. This is what bloopers are made of, are times such as these when you have a dog throwing a bone up in the air as you're trying to lead a class. Okay, I'm gonna let him outside. I want you to keep marching. I would like you to tap to the side. Tap and side. Oh good, he settled down on his mat. Okay, so a little tap to the side here. Good. Just a couple things to remember about our ABCs of posture. So remember, our abdominals pulled in, our bum is tucked, our chest is lifted, and our shoulders are back and down. Good. Well, I don't know if you have been paying attention to my classes in the last few weeks, but I've been in a different room. I've been in our music room because our front room was being renovated and we finally finished off our renovation, so I'm back in our family room. So we've got it decorated for Christmas coming up here. I thought maybe the next time I lead a class I would actually have the tree in the background. It's awfully bright today, so I'll maybe do that on a less bright day. Okay, so we're still standing tall, our arms are sliding to the side. And I like to always challenge your brain, you know I do, so let's reach and pull. And know that you always have options in any of our Forever in Motion classes. I'm standing tall and I'm doing this without any assistance. If I was just a little bit questionable about my balance, I'd be standing behind my chair so that I could have that chair in front anytime I needed it. And then of course you always have the option to do your exercises seated. So that is always an option as well, to do everything seated too. Okay, so know you have choices there. Okay, let's alternate the arms now. So legs are going to the side and then our arms will be like cross-country ski arms. Good. So warming up the side of the body this time. Okay, 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Okay, let's do a hamstring curl. So heel to the bum. This is now working out the back side of the body. So we were just at the sides with that tap to the side. Now heel to the bum, and as much as possible, Try to keep those knees pointed down and heels coming to the bum. And we do that because if we have tight hip flexors, we tend to do this more. And I want you to really get a stretch through the front of the leg, strengthen through the back, and keep those knees pointed down. That's it. So this is our basic hamstring curl. I'm doing a row at the same time. Oh, and always remembering to breathe throughout our classes, so never holding our breath. So just take some nice, deep, regular breaths. Okay, 2 more. And last time. Okay, let's march it out. Let's take a couple more breaths. Inhale all the way up. And exhale. Again, nice deep breath in. And exhale. And last time. And exhale. Good. Okay, let's bring that heart rate down just a bit. Now, being that we're doing a cardio interval or a circuit interval, we will alternate between strength and cardio. So we will come back to that every once in a while here as well. Okay, I'm just gonna let him out with it. So grab yourself a quick drink and then we'll keep going. I'm gonna go aside with that. Okay, we'll see how long they can manage outside. It's pretty cool out today. So did you have a drink? Okay, so have a quick drink. And then let's start with our band today. So I'll try to give you alternatives because I know some of you only have bands and some of you only have weights. So I'll try to give you some alternatives here. Some exercises you can choose either. Some you're kind of restricted to one or the other. Let's start with this one here in seated. And we're gonna bring the band around our feet. Okay, so this one here is, I like to call this one a paddler's row, and I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this just a little bit better. I'm going to sit up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back and down. So posture is always the first thing we want to think about. And I'm just going to grab the band a little bit further, making it just a little bit harder. And we're going to pull our arms straight back and then release. Just remember to point those toes slightly. If you don't, what could happen is the band would snap back in your face. My arms are going to stay relatively straight. There's a slight bend to my elbows because we don't want to lock our joints. But those arms are going to be swinging back, straight back. Our chest is lifted. We're making sure we're breathing at the same time here. Generally, we're exhaling as we pull. Inhale as we release, or exhale in the working phase. Inhale as we release. Squeezing those shoulder blades together in the back. This is working our latissimus dorsi, our traps, mostly probably our lower traps, a little bit of mid traps, a little bit of posterior deltoids, so all of our big muscle groups in the back of the body. And 2 more. Now know that you can always stop sooner if you feel like it's been a bit too much. Good. Or feel free to just do a couple more if you feel like you're ready to do a few extra and you don't need a break quite yet. Okay, let's go into our cardio segment. Let's do a V-step, wide and narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Wide, narrow, narrow. Now you're starting with one leg and we'll have to tap down and switch to the other eventually. Let's add some arms. I'm doing a little rotator cuff with that. So you'll notice my elbows are staying nice and close to my body. So they're staying tucked into the side as I'm doing that. Good. Okay, 4 more. 3 more. You can always make it harder by sinking a little lower. 2 more. And last one. Okay, let's switch sides. Tap down, other side lead this time. So we can speed this up. We can sink a little lower with the legs. Know that you always have the option to do this seated. Looks exactly the same. Good. Okay, let's change the arms. Instead of, as the legs are going out, the arms are going out. The arms will come in when you step wide and then come in when you step back. And 2 more. Last time. Great. Okay, march it out. Okay, let's go into our chest exercise. So let's grab our band and let's cross one hand over the other. So it doesn't matter which hand starts on top. So my band is in my left hand. I'm going to cross my right hand over top and I'm going to squeeze and release. I'm going to stand nice and tall, or again, you know your seated option looks exactly the same as your standing option. So you always have the option between the two. I'm going to squeeze and release. Just doing 5 or 6 on one side, and that's 5 or 6. And then I'm going to switch my hand under. So now my right hand's under my left. And I'm going to do 5 or 6 on the other side. In Forever in Motion, we try to encourage you to do 2 back exercises for every set of chest exercises. So I'm doing 5 or 6 with one arm over, 5 or 6 with the other arm over, and that totals about 12 to 14. And then we'll be done with that chest, and then we'll do 1 more back exercise. Okay, great job. Let's this time here do a cross-country ski. So I'm tapping back, arms are coming forward, nice big arms, nice big range of motion with the arms. I'm standing tall, alternating. Good. And this is our cross-country ski. And you know I always like to challenge your brain. So if you can we do cross-country ski legs with jumping jack arms? So again, just a little bit of a challenge there. Arms and legs going in opposite directions. And this is part of our circuit. We're doing about 45-ish seconds of strength, followed by about 30 seconds of cardio, just to give that heart just a little bit more work in between. Okay, march it out. Great job. Okay, moving into our upper back here. And this time here, let's do this seated again. But this time here, we're gonna do it a high row. So we're gonna have that band wrapped around our feet. We're gonna sit up nice and tall. Think about our ABCs of posture. I'm gonna point my toes so that band doesn't come back at my face. Especially as we're doing that high row, you'll want to make sure those toes are really pointed so that band doesn't come back at you. So point the toes, hands start just above the knees, but now they're gonna come up and my elbows are gonna go so they're pretty parallel, maybe not quite as high as my shoulders, and then slowly lower back down. Exhale as we squeeze, inhale as we release. Now I did mention I'd give you alternatives if you did only have weights. If you only had weights, it would look exactly the same, but you'd be standing with that. But then your weights would be pulled out to the side, and that way you're using gravity to lift the weights, whereas right now I'm using resistance of the band. So really think about squeezing those shoulder blades together in the back. This is working our upper back muscles. I always like to say these are our posture belt muscles. Not that it's really a belt, but it's our posture muscles that really help us to sit up tall, stand tall, to prevent some of that kyphosis or rounding of the spine. I consider this a pretty important exercise. Okay, let's see 2 more. And last one. Good, and release that. Okay, know you can do a couple more. If you've got some more energy there, you got not gone to fatigue, or feel free to stop if you've had enough. Okay, let's march it out. Okay, so this cardio interval, you can stick with a regular march. Know that you can do this seated as well, looks exactly the same. Now, if you'd like to pick it up just a little bit, maybe adding just a little bit of a hop or a little bit of a march with that. So just a little harder. If you want, you can bring those knees up just a little higher. Know that you can work as easy or hard as you like. Maybe you'd like to keep one foot on the ground at all times, and maybe you're just speeding that up. Maybe you're actually going a little bit into a jog or a run in the spot. Or can we just for 10 more seconds bring those knees up? 10, 9, 8, you got this. 4, 3, 2, 1, and march it out again. Good job. Okay, this is a great time to have a drink again. Have a drink of water. Great job. Okay, moving on here to shoulders. So for shoulders, why don't we grab our weights this time? And you can always grab tubing if you'd prefer. Let's do an upright row. So if you have tubing, you would just simply put that underneath your feet, hold on to your tubing in front. Let's start with good posture. So roll those shoulders up, back, and down. And then we're just gonna bring the hands up to the base of the chest and then back down. I don't want my elbows to ever go higher than my shoulders. So that's why I have a target of just to the base of my chest for my weights, or if you've got bands, just stopping those hands at the base of the chest. Good. Make sure you're breathing at the same time here. Exhale and inhale. That's it, looking good. Make sure you're still breathing here. Don't hold your breath. That's it. Let's try 3 or 4 more here. Listen to your body, maybe stopping if you've had enough, or doing a couple extra if you've got a couple extra in you. And last one. Good, fantastic. Okay, we can put those weights down, go into our next cardio interval. Let's do a wide and narrow. So it's wide, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Again, seated version. Looks exactly the same here. Let's do marching arms with that. And it sounds like the boys want in again here, so keep going with that. I'm gonna let them in, see if they'll stay still. Good. Good. Okay. Now again, I want to tap down and I want to switch sides. 2 more. Last one, tap down, other side. So other leg is leading now. Once again, you can keep going with that. You can pick it up just a little bit, make it a little faster, and you can add a little bit of a hop to that if you'd like. Can we again do 10 more seconds? 10, 9, 8, 7. That's it. Last 4, 3, 2, and last one, march it out. Fantastic, that is just great. Way to work as hard as you're able to work, always remembering to listen to your body. Okay, let's do a little bit of leg work. I know we love squats and lunges, those are always our favorite. I like to have a chair nearby for support just in case. So let's give that a little bit of a turn just so you can see, and so you can see that chair for support. Oh, thanks guys for joining in. Look at all you guys. Great. So nice to see you all. Okay, so I'm going to have my chair here. I'm going to use my chair for support and know that I can actually have my hands on my chair if I feel like I need it. I can have just fingertips, or I can have my hands hovering. So right away, let's get into this. Let's sit the bum back and then come all the way up. I'm thinking about sticking my bum way back, chest is staying lifted, and coming up. I'm always conscious with keeping my head and neck in line with my spine. So as I sit my hips back, my chest comes forward, my gaze goes from straight across to my gaze goes to about a 3 feet, 4 feet on the floor in front of me as I come down. Then I'm not hyperextending my neck. And again, have that chair there for support if you need it. If you don't feel like you need it, then don't feel like you have to have your hands on your chair. Oh, and it looks like Teddy just wants to be in all the shots today. Again, some of the joys and turmoils of working from home is working around pets. Okay, 2 more. And last time. Good. Okay, good. Were you able to do all of those? That was about 12 to 14. Maybe you're able to do a little bit more or a little less. Okay, let's go back into our cardio interval again. Let's go into a 1, 2, 3 tap. It looks like this. 1, 2, 3 tap, 1, 2, 3 tap. Now you can keep that in the center, or if you'd like, start moving it around. 1, 2, 3 tap, 1, 2, 3 tap. Always making sure that your area around you is clear, that you don't have a set of weights or your tubing that's fallen on the ground. 1, 2, 3 tap, 3 tap. Now if you want just a little harder for the last 10 seconds, then change that to a knee up. So you can stay with the tap or knee. If you're doing this in your chair, it's just little steps forward. 3 steps forward, tap, 3 steps back, tap. And you're not actually physically moving forward and back, just your feet are moving forward a little bit. Okay, that's about 10 seconds here. Great job. Okay. Give that a little shake. Grab a drink of water again. Okay. Are we doing good? Remember, I like to see thumbs up. So if you're doing good, you're feeling good, then please feel free to give me a thumbs up or let me know you're doing okay. Okay, moving on here to biceps and triceps. So for biceps and triceps, let's do using our weights today for our biceps. But again, if all you have at home or wherever you're doing the class today is tubing, know that you can take the tubing, put it around your feet or underneath your feet, and you can hold onto the tubing on either hands, and then your exercise is exactly the same. So let's do reciprocal. So as one arm is up, the other will be down. And then we're going to alternate sides. Now we can also challenge our base of support here. And I know for some of you, you're looking for a little bit of a challenge. So if you want a wider base of support, you feel like you're a little unsteady on your feet, keep those feet about shoulder width or hip width apart. If you're up for a little bit of a challenge, bring those feet together. Just a little bit more of a challenge for us. And then if you're thinking, boy, I still feel like I could do a bit more, go on to one foot and alternate sides. But always listening to your body and always knowing what ability you have. If you're sometimes unsteady, maybe you want to keep both feet. I'm going to switch to the other side for the last 4, last 3, 2, and last 1. Great. Okay, we can put those weights down. Give that a little shake here. Let out the dog, grab a drink of water. Good. Okay, moving on to triceps here now. So let's grab our band and let's bring it behind our back for this one here. So the band is behind my back, underneath my armpits. I'm gonna choke up quite a bit on my band. So I'm gonna grab it pretty tight on either side. I'm gonna have my elbows tucked to the side. Again, I can start with that good base. I could always challenge myself with a narrow base or on one foot. And we're simply going to extend those arms out in front and bend. Extend and bend. So we're working our triceps here. Now, completely different exercise. You might sometimes see us do a chest exercise that looks similar. It would look like this, where we're swinging out and back. That is working chest. I'm keeping my elbows tucked close to the side and I'm simply straightening and bending my hands. I'm gonna switch my grip. It's a little hard on my thumbs there. That's better. So I switched my grip, so I'm actually grabbing the bend that way. An underhand grip, just a little bit easier. It was kind of hurting the crease between my thumb and my index finger. So again, feel free to change your grip or change things to make it feel better. Your seated version looks exactly the same. That's it, breathing at the same time. I find I talk way more on these videos. I'm used to in live classes having some music in the background. We're not really allowed to have music on our online versions because oftentimes if they sense or they hear music that should have royalties paid, oftentimes it kicks us out. So you'll notice there isn't any music, so I tend to talk a lot more during these. Whereas in other classes, I might just let us listen to the music and enjoy it. Okay, let's try one more. Great. Okay, that was for sure 12 to 14. Were you counting? You know we don't count very much, right? If you were with me, you could tell me when I'm at like 20, 22, 26. Okay, grab another drink. And you'll notice I actually do take a drink with you. I'm trying to be a good role model, but also knowing we're physically active, we do need to keep hydrated and keep that throat just a little moist as well. Okay, let's do another cardio interval. This time here, let's do what I would call a basic step. So it's forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back. Okay, let's speed that up just a little bit. And we can just have running or marching arms with that. Now this is again another exercise where there is a lead leg. So in this case here, my left leg is starting. And we want to make sure that we work both sides. So we're going to switch in 4, 3, 2. We're going to tap down and switch to the other side. That's it. Good. So now we should be going with the other lead leg. Step forward, forward, back, back. Always, of course, thinking about that posture, belly button pulled into the spine, standing nice and tall. 4 more, 3 more, 2, and last one. Good, march it out. Okay, so we've done one set of legs. We should do a second set of legs. Again, probably not everybody's favorite is a good old-fashioned lunge. And just know that I've rarely, if ever, heard someone be excited about a lunge. So you're in good company if lunges aren't your favorite. So maybe you can let me know at home if you actually like lunges. So one foot is going to be forward. We're going to take the other leg back, and it's a significant step back because what we want to do is we want to bend the back leg, bend the back leg, bend the back leg, and then straighten the back leg. I'm going to do this from the side so you can see it. Bend the back knee, straighten the back knee. You notice my front knee comes along for the ride, but what I find if we tell people to bend the front knee, this is what I see. Whereas if we tell people to bend the back knee, that front knee just can't help but bend at the same time. My chest is staying lifted and coming down and up. And boy, that's a really effective lunge with that. You can really feel that back leg working here when we do it with good posture and good form. Your hand can be on that chair just in case you need it for support. If you ever did want to progress and work a little harder, you could have weight in your hands at the same time, just to make it a little bit more of a challenge. Let's see, 2 more. And last one. Good. That was about 8 or 9, I think. Let's switch to the other side. So other leg forward, other leg back. Again, chest is lifted and coming down and up. So are lunges your favorite? Are you excited for this? If you can't do your lunges standing and would prefer a seated option, keep going with those if you're standing. Then I would just say, I'm sure some of you are already sitting and doing this, is I would just do a leg extension with that. So straightening and bending the leg in front. That's it. Okay, can we do 2 more? I don't want to make you lopsided. And last time. Good. And give that a shake. Okay, one last cardio interval. Let's do, we did this one at the beginning, but let's do a hamstring curl. But this in our cardio interval, we'll make it a little bit bigger, a little more intense. So again, 30 seconds. Knees are pointing towards the ground, chest is lifted, heel is coming to the bum. If you're doing this seated, you're sitting in your chair, and that heel is coming almost like you're trying to kick your bum underneath the chair. That's it. Okay, let's see, 4 more, 3 more, 2, and last one. Good job, march it out. Okay, that was our last cardio interval. Good job. I'm sure you worked as hard as you possibly could. Oh, thanks for joining me, everybody. Nice to see you all here. I see lots of familiar names on there. Okay, so moving on to a little bit lower leg. We've done 2 leg exercises. We've done squats and lunges. Now let's work on our lower leg, so our calf and our tibialis anterior. So once again, we're going to have that chair there for support just in case we need it. Level 1, you think you need the chair for support, then please feel free to use it. Level 2, fingertips. Level 3, hands hovering, coming up to our tippy toes and rocking back on our heels. When we rock back, that's when I sometimes feel like I need my chair. You'll notice more or less my body is staying upright. What we want to try to avoid is having that rock back where our bum, say, comes back. We want to keep that chest lifted, shoulders back and down. That's it. Remembering to always still breathe. Oh, just a little bit. See, that's where I said I needed my chair. Now that was totally okay. I did a little step back. That was just a little bit of balance reaction. I just was a little unsteady. And so in case you missed it, as I rocked back, I just took a little step back to catch my balance, right? And that's okay. In everyday life, we might be washing windows or vacuuming or stepping up on a step. We want to be able to react if we do feel a little imbalanced. And our balance only improves if we challenge our balance. Okay, let's see about 2 or 3 more. We got this. Good, and last time. Woo. Great job. Okay, how we just go those angles, a little bit of rotation. Oh, that feels so good. And other way. Good job. And other side. And other direction. Good. Okay, let's do one dedicated to balance. That one is kind of a balance and lower leg strength. Let's do an opposite arm, opposite leg reach. So let's start with the leg. So we're going to lift one leg back, squeeze the bum, belly button pulled in, staying tall, and then place it down and other side. I'll turn so you can see that from the side. Squeeze the bum, a little hip extension. Now, if you feel comfortable, and again, having that chair for support, we're going to extend that opposite arm up and then switch sides. Again, lift, squeeze the bum, lift one arm. You can always just do this with your arm or just do this with your leg. Good. Very nice. Okay, a few more here. And I know you'll sometimes hear us say we don't do a lot of exercises above our head with our arms for people with hypertension or high blood pressure. So you'll notice we avoid a lot of those. But being able to reach those arms above our head to wash our hair, reach for something on a top shelf, is still very important. So whenever we do our balance and our flexibility, we still want to make sure we bring those arms above our head. It's just for hypertension, for forever motion, we're just a little bit on the cautious side, and we want to avoid any exercises that just possibly could put some people a little bit higher risk. So that's why we avoid some of those arms above the head when we're doing our cardio sections, or arms above our head when we're doing strength, just to be extra cautious and extra safe. Good. And last time. Good. Okay, give that a shake, roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Nice. Okay, let's go into our core section here. So let's come and into our chair. And I am going to move my weights off to the side. And while we're doing that, feel free to grab a drink of water too at the same time. Okay, it looks like the monsters need to be let in again. Here they come. Okay, so we're going to sit down on our chair here. We're going to sit up nice and tall with good posture. We're going to have our feet in front of us. Our hands can be on our thighs for level 1, and we're just simply going to slide back, keeping that chin parallel to the horizon, and then come all the way back. I want to avoid looking up at the ceiling, just because that can cause a lot of strain or pressure on the back of my neck. So your level 1 is with your hands on your thighs. Level 2 is with your hands crossed in front. And then your level 3, of course, is your hands just on the back of the head or just behind the ears, not putting any extra pressure on the back of the head. Now keep going with that. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can really see a good view of this. Good. Chest is lifted. My chin is staying to the horizon. I just go back, not far enough that I would hit the back of my chair. And then back up. And this is meant to work our rectus abdominis, or abdominals along the front, also known as our six-pack abdominals. And not that we're trying to get a six-pack, we're just working on a little bit of core strength. At the same time, you'll feel your obliques working here, and I got a spinning dog setting. You'll feel your obliques working, and you'll feel your lower back also working too. Good. Anybody else have a spinning dog in their life? I've got the spinning dog that loves to chase his tail. Just not enough stimulation for him during the day while I'm at work or when I'm working. Good. Okay, and Teddy's coming to say hi. Hi, Ted. And last time. Great. Okay, very nice. Let's do just a little bit that isolates those obliques. So let's lift one arm up. As we lift one arm up, we're also lifting the bum cheek, squeezing, and then release. And squeeze, and release. Good. As much as possible, I'm trying to keep my spine neutral. So I'm not trying to do a big arch or big rounding of my spine to the side. I'm keeping it relatively straight, squeezing my armpit and my hip together. That's it. So this is working the obliques along the side. And you might notice as we do that, we feel a couple rolls here. You're winning if you're creating rolls. That's it. Squeeze. And let's see 2 more. And last time. Good. And release that. Give that a little shake. And we'll do the other side here. So arm up. And let's squeeze and release. Squeeze, lifting the hip, bringing the armpit and hip together. Squeeze and release. And always making sure we're breathing at the same time so we're never holding our breath. That's it. Do we have 2 more? Let's try 2 more for me. And last one. Good. Okay, and release that. Let's give ourselves a really nice stretch. You know, I really prefer my seated stretches. Feel free to do these standing if you like. I just like seated so I can completely release or relax. Let's lift the toe, hinge forward in the hips. That knee is soft and getting a really nice stretch all through the back of the leg. Good. Now it looks like we want some attention today here. Doesn't this feel like you're right here with me in my house? You get the dogs and all with me here. Yes, very nice. Oh, yeah. Now you're probably glad you're not here and being slobbered all over by a dog. Okay, that's great. Let's do the other side. So other leg forward, other leg back. And Teddy, let's have a better view of you. Good. So sit, Ted. Good. Again, knee is soft here, getting a nice stretch to that hamstring. And if you're really thinking about lifting that toe up at the same time, getting a lovely stretch all through the back of the leg. Good. And we'll just give Sunny another moment outside here before we wrap up. Okay, let's release that. Let's turn to the side and let's do a little hip flexor quadricep stretch. You're gonna take one leg back, getting a nice stretch. Teddy, they can't see when you're there. Turn to the side, sit down, sit. Good. Okay, so we're getting a stretch here through our hip flexor and our quadricep here. Nice stretch through the front of the hip. Tends to be a really, really tight muscle here along the front. Now, if we can at the same time, do a little bit of a pelvic tilt, drop the hip or drop the tailbone, getting a nice stretch through the front of the leg here. A way better chance to view it when there's not a Teddy in the way, right? Now you're welcome to stay here. I also like to have my hand on the back of the chair just to make sure that I don't fall. Now if you'd like, taking the leg that's back, lift that one up and over, getting a nice stretch through the side of the body at the same time. And then again, I'm not doing a really big lean to the side, just a slight lean to the side. Good, and release that. Okay, other side, other leg back. Teddy, come. Other leg back, let's do the other side. Good, so other side, leg is back, sitting up tall, hand is on the chair here for support, getting a nice stretch to that hip flexor quad, which tends to be a very tight muscle. Tuck the tailbone in, lift the chest, and then if you'd like, bring that arm up and over and reach up. And I'll show you from the side. I'm not doing a really big lean. I'm reaching that arm up and straightening up. But I'm not doing an excessive big lean, which could be hard on our spine if we have some osteoporosis in our spine. So just a slight lean, still getting a nice stretch through that side body. Good, and release that. Good, let's have those arms in front, one arm across the front, stretch out through the shoulder. Oh, isn't this the best part? We're done our workout for the day. We did, in this case here, we did strength and cardio intervals. So you've got a little bit of both in there. If you've got a device such as mine that keeps track there, you'll see you got a few extra steps in there being it was an interval. Take one arm up and back into a tricep stretch. So we can have that arm come from under. We could bring that arm up and over. And if you just don't have the range of motion for that, you can always just almost imagine giving yourself a stretch in the back of the neck and then just gently pulling on the neck. Especially if you have any sort of bad shoulders, that's a really good alternative. Okay, other arm across the front here. Stretch out through the shoulder. I want to keep that shoulder down. So just pay attention if it starts to feel like you're doing this. Drop that shoulder. And that arm really does come just across the chest, not across the shoulders or the chin. Good. And take that same arm up and back into a tricep stretch. I don't know about you, but I always feel so good after a workout. It's like I've gotten a little jolt of energy. I feel brighter. I feel more positive, more upbeat once I've had a workout. Now from here, let's stand on up. Now I'm going to do this so you can see this, but have your hand on a wall or something that's not going to move, and then turn away. My chair is pretty heavy, so it's doing pretty good here. If your chair is moving, have your hand against a wall instead. This is really nice for opening up through the chest. Take a couple breaths. Good, and other side. Arm against the chair, turn away or wall. So does anybody else have their house decorated? Do you have stockings hung by the chimney or by the fireplace yet? Or trees up? You know, why don't we, as we're wrapping up class here, why don't I encourage you to take a picture of your tree and put it in the chat? I'd love to see your tree, how it's decorated. And I'll tell you what, I'll do the same right after class. Good. We probably still aren't having the amount of visitors we normally have, so this will be a chance for us to show each other our tree and rotate other way and admire some of the amazing decorations some of you are doing at home. Nice deep breath in and exhale back and down. Again, nice deep breath in. One more time. Good. And then why not, just to wrap up for fun, you know I like to always do a little bit of brain health. Why don't we wrap up with one of my favorite brain health activities, which is, let's do a 9 with one hand and a 6 with the other. That might look backwards for you, but 9 and 6. 9 and 6. Good. And then once you've got that, let's switch it up. Let's do a 9 with one hand, 6 with the other. Okay, and then try to do that together. Have we got it? Okay, and last time the boys went back in again. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I'd love to see a picture of your tree. So if you've got a moment, take a quick picture of the tree in your house and then just post it on here. And that would be lovely. Maybe post it under this video so that it just automatically comes up. So thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic day. I hope you stay warm today, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care. Have a great day.